morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, incidents in pop culture, and celebrity legal news. Let's get into this, y'all. Hit that like button. And if you like what you see, share this video and subscribe. Listen, a lot of stuff going on in this UMG and Drake lawsuit. It looks like, let me first let me share my screen. Oh, where'd it go? Things just go missing real quickly on me. Let me do this. All right. Let me share the screen. Just takes a minute. So here we have it. It looks like Drake has amended his complaint. It's 107 pages. Now, it is my understanding, I have not read all of this, but it is my understanding that it's a lot of the language has been updated. Also, the information about bots and things like that have been amended. And I think information from social media sites with people so excuse me from social media sites and people's reactions to that, what's going on in this case, in particularly the lines of uh, certified lover boy, certified PDF file. Uh, a lot of people having a lot of exchanges, and so all the ones that looked like they were having, or that the people were talking that they believed what Kendrick Lamar was saying, they're in there as well. This is like 100 and something pages. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to read it. I will definitely go over and read it and juxtapose it with the first complaint to see most of the differences. Because as you can see here, it says here the defamatory material is false, and the defamatory material was certified lover boy, certified PDF file. He says that people believe and repeat the allegations in the recording and image, and they're repeating it because it's in the song. So let's go back. So this is what we'll do. We will go to the top. So it's Aubrey Drake Graham versus UMG Recordings. He's looking for a jury trial. Because you remember when UMG put their complaint in, they took you through the whole beef. Looks like Aubrey is still kind of sticking to that. All of a sudden, the way it seems like it's framed, in my opinion, is that Aubrey is taking us through this beef, but he is basically saying that he was sitting around someplace, and then all of a sudden, Kendrick Lamar is defaming him. He don't know why. He doesn't understand what was going on, but Kendrick Lamar started defaming him by putting this song out. He wrote this song. Now, UMG was supposed to have looked at this song and seen that Aubrey Drake, is their moneymaker, so therefore no one should say anything untoward about me, and that UMG should have taken what they saw and censored it and not put it out there, because UMG knows that I am not a PDF file. So therefore, that because they did not do that, knowing that knowing that having PDF file in the song, and everyone believing that I am one is wrong, I need to be compensated. All right. And again, depending on depending on who the jury is, because let us be very, very clear. Let us be very, very clear. Let me move this back over here. Let us be very clear. Most people on the jury look like Drake's mom, and most people who look like Drake's mom do not listen to rap music. So if you put this out there like that, it does seem like, oh, there's an issue and a problem. He just came out of nowhere and said it. So let's continue. So this is just the introductory page. It just the table of content, excuse me. It just gives you the background of who these people are. It tells you that UMG published is the defamatory material. It talks about UMG publishing the defamatory material with knowledge of or reckless disregard for its falsity and knowledge that it was reasonably foreseeable to cause Drake harm. Now, this is particularly important because, again, y'all were in a rap battle. Because I guess we're just gonna act like Family Matters. We're gonna act like Push-Ups. We're gonna act like Tailor Made Freestyle. We're gonna act like none of those songs had anything to do with anything. We are gonna act like whatever that song was with the they're the big three. I can't think of what that is right now. We're gonna act like none of those songs existed. We're not gonna act like any of that stuff happened. We're just gonna start right here. UMG engages in a publicity campaign to ensure maximum spread of the defamatory material and deceive consumers. Now, I will say this. I don't want anybody to mishear me, because a big conglomerate like UMG, they're the industry, they are the man, they understand and they know what they're doing in business. And I am quite sure that they capitalized on the momentum of this song, just like with any other song under any other artist under their imprint, under their purview, through all the other different smaller record companies that are operating under UMG. I am quite sure that they were pushing this song. And he's saying because they pushed this song, it was defamatory to them. Because I'm quite sure if it was on the other foot, if there was a song out here that kept saying, Whitney and Dave Free were posted up in the bathroom, Whitney and Dave Free was posted up here, and Whitney and Dave Free were posted up under here, he would say, and they pushed that song because they saw the momentum behind it. I'm quite sure that he would say that there wasn't an issue or a problem. And I don't want anybody to mishear me that I'm anti-Drake. I'm not anti-Drake. What I am is I am anti you're putting a case through the court because you lost a rap battle. And because and no one can convince me of anything else, because if it was because he felt defamed, he would have sued Kendrick. Because who wrote the song? DJ Mustard and whoever else was a part of the production of that song. All those people who so I'm just looking at the people who was so it looks like so DJ Mustard produced this song. Got contribution from Soundwave and Sean Momberger. The lyrics were solely written by Kendrick Lamar. And I'm going through the Wikipedia page just so you all can see where I'm at. I'm going through this Wikipedia page. Uh, Yeah, so they talk about it as a diss track. It says here, journalists describe Not Like Us as a cultural touchstone, a clarion call for the West Coast, and one of the biggest diss tracks they have witnessed in their lifetimes. They consider the timing of its release and content an effective strategy in capturing the zeitgeist before listener grew tired of the feud. I don't think listeners was tired of the feud, but okay. All right, so let's continue. UMG caused Drake substantial harm by publishing and promoting the defamatory material. UMG deceived the public and caused Drake harm. Uh, they talk about the first claim, the second claim, third claim, violation of New York business law, and the prayer for relief. Okay. So he's suing them for defamation, harassment, and violation of New York general business law. Okay. So this was filed on the 16th. This was filed on the 16th. So again, if you all would like for me to go over this and to read this, I have no issues or no problems. We can definitely do that. Let me get everything back together. And make sure y'all hit that like button. So I think this is the first one. Yes. So then we see, let's make sure we show more. Here is information from Drake. This is off of the Twitter X account of Kirko. Says Drake legal team claims UMG intentionally tried to devalue his music. And again, it keeps coming back from him to being devalued. That all of this is devaluing Drake. Not understanding. Now, mind y'all, I just want to be clear, mind you all, even before this battle started, some of Drake's songs were not as some of Drake's songs were not as popping as he was. He's had a couple of albums and things like that that hasn't done that well. And so, you know, he's trying to say that his success has dwindled because of this rap beef. But here's what I never can understand about Drake. Haven't you noticed that when he starts to get into these rap beefs, there's always some kind of business deal that is surrounding something that he's doing. And the business deal seems to go away, to go awry. You remember when he started with Pusha T? He had a deal with Adidas. And so when Pusha T pushed his stuff out there, his Adidas deal, I do believe that they continued with that deal, but it didn't do as well as he wanted it to do. And here, when he started this, when this rap beef and stuff came out with Kendrick Lamar, he was literally a week away from his Nike deal. Would it while you were sitting there goading Kendrick Lamar to come out? I don't think you were expecting for him to come out, but still in all, you have a business deal that you're about to embark on because you've already messed up your Adidas deal. And so now you're pushing in through this Nike deal. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Make no sense. Plus, a lot of your albums, your newer albums, haven't been selling. Now, this is according to the pundits. This is according to what they have on any of these sites. Most of your streaming, most of the stuff that you're doing is coming from your earlier stuff. People are still rocking with your earlier stuff. And that's cool. Because every artist has a slump. But if you knew that these were the things that were happening for you within the next couple of months, why would you engage in a rap battle? Why would you do that? Because clearly we understand that you underestimated. You figured I took him out on his first tour. I made him the masses knew who he was. If it wasn't for me putting him out on the first tour, if it wasn't for me hyping him up, the people wouldn't know who he was. So you have this idea, and I'm speculating. I don't know. This is all speculations. I don't have any idea. I don't know these people. It's just me in my head thinking. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar has some success over here, but he doesn't have worldly success. Because see, I can take my stuff out on tour. I can tour the world. Kendrick can't tour the world. So he needs to at least he needs to at least acknowledge me and acknowledge who I am. And then maybe I take him out on a world tour. Now I know that Kendrick has toured. I'm unaware if he has toured overseas or not. I don't see where that would be where he would not have. Y'all let me know. I don't know where he wouldn't, but again, I'm speaking in the way I believe that Drake thinks. Well, they're going to Canada. And they got European dates. Says here Kendrick Lamar and SZA's Grand National Tour general sale. How to get tickets for the US and European dates. Like I said, I'm quite sure that Kendrick Lamar has toured the world. There's no way that you can make me believe that that's not what has happened. But anyway, so we've talked about the fact that Drake has amended his complaint. And again, if you all want me to read that, make sure y'all put that down and make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. If you're watching me from X, hit the heart. If you're watching me on Twitch, I think it's the wallet or whatever you hit that gives it a like. Hit that for me as well. I appreciate it and appreciate you all being up. You all are night hawks like I'm a night hawk. I'm going through my bouts of insomnia, so we will see how this is working out. So I wanted to go back over. Let me add this back to the stage. So it says here Drake's legal team claims that UMG intentionally tried to devalue his music and brand ahead of the 2025 contract negotiations while trying to prove its worth as an exclusive partner to Kendrick Lamar. And I'm sorry, I just can't even see nor believe that. To believe that out of all the artists that you work with, out of all the artists that you work with, that you're telling me that they decided to drop you because UMG is a big company. It has a lot of imprints up under it. There are several big stars. I'm quite sure. If we look out here, you will see that there are several stars that UMG has put the big force behind them. It's several of them. But he seems to think that it's only Drake and Kendrick Lamar, nobody else. He gives me, at first I was thinking of the Highlanders, Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. It's an older show. I think it was out back in the 90s or the early 2000s. If you hadn't seen that or seen that movie, go ahead and do that. But then I started thinking about, no, He's acting like Jet Li and you remember Law? I am Law. I am nobody's bitch. What is the name of that movie? If you know the movie I'm talking about. He seems to think that there can only be one. Also, you know what this reminds me of? You all remember back in the 90s and probably the late 90s, early 2000s when there were rap crews and you had Puffy and his rap crew. I can't think of what they called themselves, Bad Boys. And then you had Rough Riders, and then you had the Firm. And what did Ja Rule in them? But you remember with all of those crews and things like that, they would only have one first lady. So I think Foxy Brown was the first lady of the Firm. You had Lil Kim, who was with Bad Boys and all of them, Biggie and all of them. You had Eve, who was with the Rough Riders. That's that kind of mentality that he seems to be coming with. There can only be one. And if there is another one, I've got to knock that person down in order to bring that up. And I can't even remember, was there one for Rockefeller? I know that lady that Jay-Z would do a lot of songs with, and then she just kind of faded to black. And I don't think Charlie Baltimore was with them as with the Rockefeller, was she? Hmm. I can't remember. And I'm not even going to try. But anyway, the contract between UMG and Drake is up for the renegotiation this year. By the spring of 2024, UMG understood that the rise of streaming platforms had enhanced the bargaining power of artists. Established artists whose contracts are coming up for renewal and are in an approved position to demand higher take rates due to the improvement in the visibility of cash flow and risk reduction. UMG was incentivized to act and in fact did act in a manner to reduce that bargaining leverage in advance of upcoming negotiations with Drake over contract renewals. Now that's interesting. That sounds like somebody had been talking to Drake in regards to this, because this doesn't give me organic. This sounds like somebody was talking with Drake, or somebody knew some things, because you remember back when he was saying that Drake was saying that all of a sudden the contacts that he had at UMG he no longer had. UMG's actions were motivated, at least in part, by UMG's desire to best position itself in negotiations with Kendrick Lamar in 2024 and Drake in 2025. With respect to Lamar, on information and belief, UMG was incentivized to prove that it could maximize Lamar's sales by any means necessary. So let me continue. After only being able to get him to sign a short-term exclusive contract, UMG wanted Lamar to see its value in an expedited time frame in order to convince Lamar to re-sign exclusively and for a longer period of time. As to Drake in 2024, his contract was nearing fulfillment. On information and belief, UMG anticipated that extending Drake's contract would come at a high cost to UMG. That is the price of doing business. We live in a capitalistic society. They're going to leverage to see who is going to make more money. And again, when you have that Highlander mentality, that ULAW mentality, that there can only be one first lady in any of these crews, when you have that mentality, of course, people think somebody is trying to take their spot and take their money. As such, it was incentivized to devalue Drake's music and brand in order to gain leverage in negotiations for an extension. And so that would mean that there would have had to have been this big concerted effort to do this. Now, don't mishear me. We live in a capitalistic society, and there would be no way that you'd make me believe that in some part this might have been. But I do not think that you entering in a rap battle with Kendrick Lamar was the big master plan. A lot of that had to do with you. Here you are in the middle of negotiations. Why didn't you do a tour, Drake? This last tour you cut short for whatever reason. You should have been touring. We should have seen you on every platform pushing whatever song that you had, because you're in negotiations. You've got to show that you are the orange worth the squeeze. We should see you everywhere. I mean, you're online. You're your Instagram and your Finsta and all of this other stuff, promoting those types of things. You're not promoting the information and the music that you have. You put out an album every year. You could have put out an album and a mixtape. This battle happened from it. I think it started maybe let's say October 2023, and it pretty much ended. I'm going to give it to the pop out. It pretty much ended in what was that, Juneteenth. You had time in between all of that to put your music out, to put music out, to do anything. But this is what you resorted to. But let's continue. As to Drake, in 2024, his contract was nearing fulfillment. On information and belief, UMG anticipated that extending Drake's contract will come at a high cost to UMG. As such, it was incentivized to devalue Drake's music and brand in order to gain leverage in negotiations for an extension. What does that look like? What does that devaluing your brand looks like? Is it not promoting any of your stuff? I believe your stuff was promoted. Even when I look at the songs that you put out, because you had you did that album, or did those songs with what's his name, J. Cole. How did that go? I don't know what happened between you and Future. You and Future always had a good link up. Was it when you did that album with 21 Savage? Was that a problem? What really happened? What was going on that devalued? Because again, this was a rap beef. It's like you jumped in a river full of piranhas, and now you pissed off that those piranhas bit you. And now you're suing the person who you were in the boat with, because they didn't tell you that the piranhas bite. I don't understand it. I don't. You all get me to understand. I don't understand it. All right. So then UMG has released a statement, and UMG is they said 2 weeks ago. It says UMG has released a statement. This is on Hip Hop All Day. UMG has released a statement warning Drake to be careful what you wish for. Don't know what that means. And just reading that off the thing, that sounds ominous. 2 weeks ago, his team celebrated a quote win, the granting of a routine discovery motion. That win will become a loss if this reckless lawsuit is not dropped, because Drake will personally be subjected to discovery as well. As the old saying goes, be careful what you wish for. Drake, unquestionably one of the world's most accomplished artists and with whom we've enjoyed a 16-year successful relationship, is being misled by his legal representative. This lawsuit is reputationally and financially costly to Drake and has no chance of success. It's this last sentence for me. What you say, UMG? I'll read it again. Drake, unquestionably one of the world's most accomplished artists and with whom we've enjoyed a 16-year successful relationship, is being misled by his legal representatives, is reputationally and financially costly to Drake, and has no chance of success. What does that mean? Is this something that we're supposed to be speculating about? Reputationally and financially costly to Drake, and has no chance of success. Is that shots fired? What is that? What exactly is that? And the reason why I asked this, because I've been watching, because we're in that season from last year when all of this happened. So I've just been going back and listening to some of the songs and things like that. And I remember in that tailor-made freestyle where he was kind of baiting Kendrick to come out. Hey, we need you to cut. What is it? We need you the hip. Anyway, it was silly, but it's silly that I'm trying to rap it. Not that the song was silly, y'all, but it's interesting to see that the things that Kendrick Lamar threw in his face, he was asking him to throw in his face. All right, so here we go. Here we go. It says, F this Canadian. I'm reading right here. If you all can see, let me see. So I'm really right here. It says, F this Canadian light skin dot. We need a no debated West Coast victory man. Call him a bitch for me. Talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift from me. Heard it on the Budden podcast. It's got to be true. They told me the spirit of Machiavelli is alive in a ninja under 5'5". So it's got to be you. I would beat the whole effing game. It was me and Snoop Dogg had my effing shirt off in the House of Blues. You got to F this ninja girl. He got to get abused. All that SHIT about burning tattoos, he's not amused. That's jail talk for real thugs. You got to be you. And then we go back and he passes it, and then he's in this Snoop Dogg AI voice. And he talks about, I know you've never been to jail, orange jumpsuits and shower shoes, never shot nobody, never stabbed nobody, never did nothing violent to no one. It's the homies that empower you. So basically he was trying to say that Kendrick wasn't who he said he was. That it was his but Kendrick has always said he wasn't a gangbanger, but he was adjacent. And so he's basically calling him soft, I guess, if this is what I'm trying to interpret. And so let's do the verse that he did in his own voice. And there's a reason why I'm going through this. Yeah, Unc, that's the truth. I'm definitely about to come around the Lang Gang and let my effing bowel move. Shitting on you niggas from a whole different altitude. So again, he's talking as if he's above everyone. High up in the sky like I'm Howard Hughes. The first one really only took me an hour or two. The next one is really about to bring out the coward in you. Uh-oh. And that's the wording that I was looking for. The next one is really about to bring out the coward in you. But now we got to wait an effing week because Taylor Swift is your new top. And if you about to drop, she got to approve. This girl really about to make you act like you not in a feud. She's tailor-made your schedule with Ant. You out of the loop. Hate all you corporate industry puppets. Isn't that interesting? Oh, look, it's Lady London. I like her. But anyway, let's get out of here real quick. Let me stop sharing. But he baited this man. He called him a coward. He said that he wasn't who he said he was. He said even if all those people had blessed him with being the West Coast savior, it didn't matter because Drake was on top. He was shitting on you from a whole different altitude like he was Howard Hughes. But now you out here. Everybody was in cahoots to knock me down. How could they knock you down? How could they knock you value? You was just bragging about your value. You're on top. Now this is 2025, 2024. Here you are again. We're looking at your lyrics. This is 2024. Because again, you said, it says here, let me go back to where you were talking. So here we have you as you're talking. As to Drake, in 2024, his contract was nearing fulfillment. On information and belief, UMG anticipated that extending Drake's contract would come at a high cost to UMG. As such, it was incentivized to devalue Drake's music and brand in order to gain leverage in negotiations and extension. It's these words right here. Incentivized to devalue Drake's music. Incentivized to devalue Drake's music. Drake, how do they devalue your music? Because we have to remember, when this lawsuit came out, what was the first thing that he did? He was doing a petition because he wanted to get discovery so that he can go through the books, because he's trying to figure out if his music was devalued. And I hope you all are picking up what I'm putting down. That word is very key, devalue. Now, the only way to devalue someone else's music is that there has to be a concerted effort to get your record put on top. And how has people in the music business been able to do that? Because you remember Drake's initial complaint talked about payola, talked about bots. So you, as an artist, and I'm not acting naive. I understand that these types of things go on. You clearly understand about devaluing people's music, because you let me tell it. Again, I don't know these people. I don't know anything of how UMG works and operates its business. I don't know how Interscope operates and runs its business. I don't know anything about how Republic operates and runs its business. All I'm saying to do is this. You had to know how it was that you were to be moving up and down these charts with some of these songs. And I will say it, and again, I also put out there that some of the music, once you reach a certain age, some music doesn't make any sense. There's still a lot of good music out here, and there's still a lot of good rap songs and things like that you listen to. But I'm sorry, how did this Tootsie Slide reach the top of the charts? With all the music that was out at that particular time. And I'm talking about being on Billboard, and I'm talking about being in genres in the top 100, because the top 100 is an amalgamation of all different music genres. How did that song reach the top? And I'll get you all to go back, look at the Billboard 100, the Billboard 200 during that time that song was out, and look at the quality of other songs that were out there. And you explained to me how that song got to the top. Were other people's songs devalued so that that song can reach the top? It's my opinion. I didn't like that song. Was it devalued so that you can get to the top? Because that word right there, you seem, your attorneys, your people seem to be really honing into that particular word, devalue. But you're Drake. You are who you say you are. They're going to make money on you regardless. Obviously, they are a business. They want to be able to maximize the amount of money that they need to make versus what they want to put out. But you have to look at your catalog, look at what you've been doing for your contract is up in 2025. So it seemed like there should have been a very big effort from when you signed that contract that expired in 2025, that you were doing all the things that you needed to do so that your contract extension, that you wouldn't make less money, you'd either make the same amount of money or a little bit more. However, if your catalog from the time you signed that contract until to 2025, when your contract negotiations were going on, if your catalog wasn't moving, even with them overvaluing your catalog or devaluing other people's catalogs so that you would come up top, even if they were doing all of that, you should still be in a place that when they did the contract negotiations, it wouldn't have been a question. They'd been like, yeah. But you probably have known that all the collabs that you've been doing, all of these different things, they're not working right for you. And I would just say that that has probably has to do with just the regular evolution of anything, because you can only stand to see something for so long, and then people want something new. So you're just basically caught up. You've been on top for 15 years. What do you think? You're gonna be on top of the rap game until you're what, 55, 60 years old? Don't mishear me. Because I've always believed that rap music was more than a young man's game. I think everybody in every age has something to say or something to contribute in rap music. Because look at Drake's and look at their audience. I think Drake is what is y'all? Drake is in his mid to late 30s. So his audience that rock with Drake would be 40 and probably 20, from 25 to 40. I'm just estimating, because a lot of times when you have an artist and you're infatuated with an artist, it's usually around when you're 15, 16-year olds, and then from like 15, 16 till about 25, you're really entrenched in who you think your favorite artist is. Other artists will come in, but you've pretty much locked into who your artist is, and you will follow that particular artist until you get, because R&B is different. You would start that, but your favorite artist will be your favorite artist until your favorite artist is no more on this earth. But I understand that with rap music, it usually starts, because whatever's going on with you at 15 or 16 years old, you lock into that, you follow that rap artist until something else happens. So again, by the time you're 15 to you're about 25, 26, 27, you're usually in a certain type of genre of your music, subgenre of your rap music. Just like, with Nicki Minaj, she's in her 40s now. So her audience is like 45 to probably 30, because I don't believe she's put out anything significant in the past 3 or 4 years. She's done like a song. I know she put out an album. Was that 2023? The end of 2023 going into 2024? I think she put out an album or something. But anyway, I didn't mean to go down that little tangent. But let's get to these lyrics really quick. I want to go through these lyrics really quick, and then I want to go over what Kanye is saying. Again, for whatever platform that you are watching this, y'all hit the hearts in Twitter, X. You hit the thumbs up button in YouTube, and I'm gonna find out what y'all hit on Twitch, but y'all hit that as well. And so here we got the push-up song. And I'm wondering why you really didn't, because this was a good song. You should have rocked this song. Huh. I don't know why you didn't rock this song. Share tab. I could never be nobody's number one fan. Your first number one, I had to put it in your hand. You pussies couldn't get booked outside America for Nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. So basically, he's saying, I got a worldwide audience. I'm big. You can't take that away from Drake because he's not lying about that. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on. Backstage in my city, it was a friend zone. You won't ever take no change off us. How you big stepping with the size 7 men's on? This song should have. I'm going back through the lyrics because you know how you hear the song. And like I said, I revisited some of these songs, but this was a good song. Pip squeak pipe down. Yeah, this was a really good song. Why you did not push this song? He says, I'm the sixth god. I'm the front runner. Y'all ninja manager was Chubbs, little blunt runner. Claimed the six and you boys didn't even come from it. And when you boys got rich, you had to run from it. Now, was he talking about the weekend right there? We're not getting into that, but I just wanted to go over those songs. Just basically to say, if this was a very big concern for you, then clearly this should be something that you should have been working on. So here we go. And I hate to put him up here, but I am because he did say something. So then we have old Kanye. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yo, I'm so happy right now. You don't understand with this UMG, Drake, Kendrick situation, Super Bowl, Grammys. This shit was driving me, and you know where it should be driving me. But this is one of the biggest, if not, this is the biggest victory in music history right here. I'm never finna call Drake out of his name. I'm Team Drake 100%, and Team Kendrick, and Team all of us. Like all of Kendrick need to be going at UMG at this point. This is what I said in my version of Like That. I said Lucian. Lifetime deal. Like, let's stop aiming all this at each other. That's all like, bro, you have no idea. Everything is worth everything for a moment like this, where we stop going at each other and we go at the slave masters.
All right, because I did want you to see and to hear that. My biggest issue with Kanye. Am I frozen? I am frozen. Why am I frozen? Let's see if this will help. All right, here we are. I froze up a little bit. Anyway, I wanted you all to hear Kanye because here's the way I look at this. It's one thing if you're talking about devaluing your stuff and your contract, then stick to that. I don't know if you're going to get whether or not that Kendrick Lamar defamed you. Hyperbole, yeah. But it's common knowledge, and everyone has talked about from the blogs, from anything about you and girls under 18 years old. You've even said it. We've even heard the girls from under 18 years old. We even heard them. You mentioned Millie Bobby Brown. She's even said something about it. There have been lots of rumors of with you being with underage girls, but for me, I would be more concerned, honestly. I would be more concerned with what UMG is talking about putting out on you, because there's no way that you're going to make me believe that they don't have something on you, because they're going to have to get that information out. They're talking about discovery as well. And you've made mention about well, they don't have anything. Possibly they don't. Again, I wouldn't know what you've done or anything. I can just tell you what we have seen you do that has been online, and what Millie Bobby Brown has said. She hasn't said anything sexual, so I do want to be able to say that. But it is odd for a 30-year-old man to be texting a 15, 16-year-old girl talking about boyfriends, giving advice. Let's be clear. There's something very odd about that. And you can't come back from that. There's something very odd as a 20, 27, 28, 29-year-old man talking to a 15-year-old girl about boyfriends. No. And you're texting. No. Inappropriate. Didn't say it was illegal, but it's damn sure inappropriate. You on stage. Now, hear me clear. I got issues with that. I have big issues with that parent of that 17-year-old girl to allow her to go up on stage like that. I got big issues with that. But she gets up there and you're kissing on her, and as soon as she tells you how old she is, you're still rubbing up on her. You should have stopped at that point. Was it criminal? I don't know. I don't know where you were. I don't know what state that you were in, because we can't be obtuse about the fact that there are state laws and things like that that have different ages for different people about touching and harassing, all of those different things. We can't be obtuse about those things. But we've seen that. We have seen that you will have parties where you will have underage influencers at your parties, because they're providing footage for their channels. Plus, you're serving alcohol with these underage influencers. Some of them are beauty influencers, some of them are whatever, some of them are models. You have been seen. I don't know what the name of that young. She's a young black woman. When she was, at the time, she was a black girl. She was about 17 years old. You were hugged up on her. There's pictures of that. So say, Drake, I hear you like them young. You've got video evidence, you've got picture evidence of that. You even told him in Taylor made freestyle to come at you with that. That's an angle you can come at you with that. And then he come at you with that angle and you get pissed. Since basically what it is that PDF file is the word that us commoners use to describe anyone under the legal age. But there's categories in there. But the PDF file word is the one that the stigma is attached to. But that's usually people. Those are usually children before they go through puberty. So you're talking about 12 years old and younger. Actually, probably be about 10, because you're a hebiophile if you like them between 11 and 14. And then you are oh, what's the name of that? What is that word? Ebiophile? I think that's what it is. Ephebiophile. If you like them 14 and between 14 and 8, which I think it's 14 and 19, somewhere in those age grades and stuff like that. But the common word is PDF file, because no one has time to figure out and learn the different ages or anything like that. Everybody understands PDF file. But you pushed us, you pushed that out there. But again, you're suing as if Not Like Us was the only song that came out. And it wasn't until UMG's asking for this case to be dismissed that they talked about the rap battle. You didn't talk about the battle. You're just talking about that particular song. You didn't talk about what led up to it. It reminds me of, how people will bait you. They will get you upset. And then they want to control that fact, how much they're going to bait you. And then when they bait you to the point and you react, they get pissed off at the reaction that you give. And they want to act like the reaction that you gave was the start of all of the confusion. I think we've got a couple of things like that are similar to examples. You remember they were in New York, and there was this pro-life girl. She was in the blue dress, and she was talking to this woman, and she kept baiting her and baiting her and baiting her and calling her this stuff like that, because she believed that she was in control, that she was going to be able to tell this woman that she was basically the scum of the earth for whatever that she believed. And then she got bipped in the mouth. I'm not condoning violence, but I'm just saying, you can't bait people and think that you're going to control their reactions. You're not going to control somebody's reaction. And then you want people to have this level of empathy for you, because the way that she reacted wasn't what you thought she was going to do. But now it's her reaction. That's the big part of the problem. Was the reaction wrong? Yes, because there are laws about you popping people. Absolutely. I don't want you to mishear me, but that's one example that I can give where people are talking about that. I think right now, I don't know the full story of this particular case, but I know it's about the track meet and the 17-year-old stabbed another 17-year-old, and he was unalived. It is my understanding there was some kind of altercation before this happened, but no one is talking about whatever happened within this altercation. They're just talking about the fact that this person stabbed this person, as they should, because you shouldn't be stabbing anybody. I don't want anybody to mishear me. But the reaction is now considered the everyone is considering the reaction versus what happened. You can have your feelings about how this come, but I'm just trying to use these real world examples about what we're seeing out here, and this is what that reminds me of. First of all, Drake's case reminds me again. He wants to be Duncan MacLeod of the Clan McClouds, or he wants to be U-Law, or he wants to be like the first lady of a crew. And I'm not calling him a girl, y'all. Stop it, because I see the wheels turning. What I'm saying is each crew only had one woman there. And if there was another woman coming in, then you would see it would be a battle to the death to who was going to be the first lady of this crew. And sometimes I think within the genre of rap music, that's where it has partly has gotten. I think the genre of rap music, though it is a big and it's a vast genre with several different subgenres under there, and that's where the problem is. It's like you have to. It's almost acting like you got to have this king or you have to have this queen of rap, and then whatever style this king or queen of rap has, everybody is supposed to follow, or they don't get any shine. It's too vast for that. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here to let y'all know that UMG told Drake to squabble up, because if you're going to get out here and you want to do discovery, we got to get some discovery on you. So that means that there's going to be a lot of information that's going to be pushing back and forth. And with UMG being who UMG is, I am quite sure that there are going to be leaks. There are going to be information that's going to start pulling out. You're going to hear people coming out of the doggone woodwork. We're going to start seeing a lot of different things. And those that are around Drake, that love Drake, y'all need to make sure that you are around to prop him up. If he's and I'm talking about people who have the ability, who are personal with Drake, y'all better be propping him up, because he's going against a capitalistic machine. I don't rock with Kanye, but going against a machine is something. This does I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of stuff. It's going to be a lot. A lot of stuff is about to come out. Probably give it the next 5 to 6 weeks. You're gonna see a little trickle of stuff, and then you're gonna start seeing just landslide after landslide after landslide after landslide. It's about to be a very good episode of stunt shows and shenanigans. It's gonna be a whole lot of stuff like that. And I don't know if Drake is ready for that, because at one point he was the face of it. And I don't know if he's going to be able to be ready for when he's no longer the face. They're going to push him out the street, and they're going to be looking at him, and now he's going to be the person that they're going to go after. Mm, mm, mm. All right, people. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening to me on X, and if you're listening to me on Twitch, come over to the YouTube page and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. All right, people. Please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye. Child, I don't, I don't know if he's prayed up or not, but he better brace himself, because UMG is coming.